हेलो एवरीवन। तो आज हम बात करेंगे कि मार्केट में सेक्टर रोटेशन कैसे हो रहा है और जो अभी इंडेक्स है वो कैसे बदल रहा है। सो आई एम श्योर एक व्हाट्सएप फॉरवर्ड तो आप सबने देखा होगा जहाँ पर द होल आइडिया इज़ टू शो दैट जो पुरानी नामी कंपनियां हैं या कोई स्टॉक्स हैं जो हमेशा पहले से लोग लेते थे वो अब नहीं चल रहे। लाइक इन्फोसिस ने बहुत सालों से रिटर्न नहीं दिया, विप्रो ने नहीं दिया, टीसीएस ने नहीं दिया एंड एशियन पेंट्स भी नहीं चला है। एचडीएफसी बैंक तो मतलब बार बार मैंने बोला है कि दैट ऑल्सो हैज़ नॉट वर्क। तो ऐसे बहुत सारे ओल्ड विंटेज बिजनेसेस हैं जो नहीं चल रहे हैं एंड इसी वजह से यू विल सी दैट द इंडेक्स इज ऑल्सो नॉट मूविंग मच। और बहुत जगह पे आपने देखा होगा कि न्यू एंट्रेंट्स हैव कम इनटू द इंडेक्स, जैसे जोमेटो आ गया एंड मैनी मोर आर ट्राइंग टू come into that list. For example, Polycab is doing extremely well wires and cables में। स्टॉक का रिकमेंडेशन नहीं दे रहा हूँ, बट आई एम जस्ट सेइंग दैट द मार्केट कैप जो है वो उसका इंक्रीज हो रहा है। सो व्हाट हैपेंस व्हेन दिस हैपेंस इज यू विल फाइंड न्यू कंपनीज कमिंग इन द निफ्टी 50 स्टॉक्स, क्योंकि एफ आई आई जब बाय करते हैं द इंडेक्स एटलीस्ट दे मेक श्योर दैट दीज आर द स्टॉक्स वेयर द एक्सपोजर इज़ वेरी हाई। ठीक है, तो ये होता है हमेशा एंड दिस इज़ व्हाट इज़ ऑलवेज देयर। एक्सपोजर जो होता है वो हमेशा ज़्यादा होता है एंड वंस दिस सेक्टर रोटेशन हैपन्स यू विल फाइंड न्यू नेम्स। तो हमें क्या करना है इन द मार्केट, दैट वी नीड टू स्टार्ट फाइंडिंग दिस न्यू स्टॉक्स। इन द सेंस नॉट न्यू स्टॉक्स, ये ऑलरेडी मार्केट में एग्जिस्ट करते हैं बट पीपल डोंट नो देम। सो आई टी में आई डोंट नो हाउ मेनी पीपल नो दी स्टॉक्स। लाइक यू लुक एट कोफोर्स, नेटवेब टेक्नोलॉजीज, ठीक है, ये दो हो गए है ना, गुड स्टॉक्स विच आर डूइंग एटलीस्ट समथिंग इनटू आईटी। दे आर वर्किंग विद दिस AI, semiconductor space and everything, ठीक है, they are working into this areas. So you need to narrow down when it comes to IT industry. You cannot be saying that you just buy the IT index and then hope कि IT index will do well. ऐसे नहीं होगा, because most of the sector is having a lot of headwinds, so you have to be very stock specific again, right? Then again come to other businesses, like you have Aeroflex, that is again a good stock that is doing very well. And then you look at other companies like VMark is there in wires and cables, Polycab is there, these kind of stocks. In paint industry, you can look at Sirca Paints. Sirca Paints is doing extremely well. The only stock that is having any kind of growth, that is Sirca Paints in the paint industry. So that is very important, ठीक है। एशियन पेंट्स लोगे तो आपका पैसा नहीं बनेगा, बिकॉज सिरका पेंट इज एबल टू कैप्चर दैट मार्केट शेयर, या और फिर अपना जो प्रोडक्ट है वो सेल कर पा रहा है, उसका सेल्स का ग्रोथ हो रहा है, ऑल दोज थिंग्स व्हाट आई ऑलवेज टेल यू। नाउ you need to find this kind of businesses, and then you look at GNG Electronics, you look at Sarma, SGS, these are into manufacturing electronic space में वो, all these components, and GNG is into refurbished laptops. So these kind of themes you need to look into. So definitely there is a bull run that is coming up, और लोगों को दिख नहीं रहा, they are just looking at the index, and index does not give you the real growth. So it'll always give you a opaque illusion, बिकॉज इंडेक्स तो नहीं बढ़ रहा क्योंकि वही पुराने स्टॉक्स है। जब तक वो सेक्टर रोटेशन नहीं होता, नए स्टॉक्स नहीं आते, तब तक शायद इंडेक्स मूव भी नहीं करेगा। बट देर आर लॉट ऑफ स्टॉक्स दैट आर गोइंग अप। आई थिंक more than 25% of the mid cap space has done well, and minimum 25% का किगर दिया। So who is saying that you cannot make money in this market? That is absolutely utter nonsense, because people don't know where to look for these businesses. So what you have to do is you have to dive a little deeper and then look at good business model. Car trade is doing extremely well in the online space, right? That is one more stock. Then jewelry is also okay. Of course, we had this news coming from the government that you don't buy gold for certain period of time, but then still they are okay with the sales part also. Certain businesses again. So you have got Sky Gold, Kalyan there. Kalyan has been extremely good. वो अगर stock market का issue नहीं होता, if that whatever bad news had not to hit the stock, then it would have never collapsed so much. But then again, it looks to be back in the momentum. So these kind of stocks, and you can look at Ether also. Ether again, I've told a lot about this, because again it is trying to change this electric vehicle space. So these kind of stocks you need to look at. Otherwise you will not make any money. And then you have got Shadowfax. Again, Shadowfax is into the logistics business, and it does that real quick, delivery is very fast. So that has got that edge again. So these kind of business models you need to look at, read about these business models. And I think this is how you should look at investing. And then there are a lot of stocks again which have not gone up because of the sentiment also. So find growth and then you can make a lot of money. So what I'm saying is, don't look for the previous winners. So first it was always manufacturing, 2007, 2003 to 7 was manufacturing. Then came IT, and then we had that IT bubble. Of course, in a bubble, everyone says it's a AI bubble, IT bubble. But remember one thing, that Infosys went up by 1,000 times in a bubble, IT bubble. Of course, don't expect Infosys to do that again. So whatever has happened in the past will never happen in the present. We always look for new players, new businesses, because that is how bull run is made. So you always have different businesses leading the bull run. ठीक है. तो अब infrastructure हो गया, then you had IT, then you had bank and pharma. Bank and pharma did extremely well after the financial crisis was over. And then after COVID, when pharma did very well after that. After that incident of COVID, for a short period of time again. But then that was not like a structural bull run, but still that did well. Banks, of course, HDFC Bank, everyone knows, very good bank. 20-25 years back, they made sure that the compounding, what you're looking at, 20-25%, it used to compound at 35-40%. Then of course the speed came down. But now you cannot bet on a HDFC, Infosys, Wipro, and TCS, and then think that you're going to make that money. It does not work. You need to find a new players, new themes. Government is giving good push for wires and cables, good push for this energy related businesses. You need to look at those themes. Look where the government is pushing for growth, and of course government is going to support, give funds. So I think Indian government is extremely good when it comes to supporting the business community. And they are trying their best to be pro business. Of course, one can always have issues and say this and that, but this is not a political video. But what I mean to say is that in general government has done a lot when it comes to uh, businesses, listed businesses, I am saying, to grow. And then I think the support is important, and then they're looking to go and make this electronic manufacturing very big, work in this electrical two-wheeler space. So all these kind of categories, of course you have some other fintech companies also doing very well, you can look at them also. So all these new themes and businesses, you need to try them out, read about them, and do not stick to this old banks or your paint company, or your old economy businesses where you have to build a lot of infrastructure and then you grow on that. So it doesn't work that way. I think world has changed, and money can be made very fast. With the startups coming up, the valuations are going crazy, and people own a percentage of stake. And although you might say it's paper money, but finally the people are millionaires and billionaires. Of course, we all know Elon Musk recently became a trillionaire also. So again, what I'm saying is, put your mind to this new age businesses, and don't be judgmental. Try out some new things, read more, and get into this business. And definitely new sectors will come up. And I don't think so the war is also any issue anymore now, because that drag will get over one day. And it'll be like Ukraine Russia. Ukraine Russia war kept happening for maybe 5-6 years, and the market kept chugging along. So we needed this correction. Market बहुत तेजी से बढ़ रहे थे, and then there was nothing to stop the markets. It was a one way rally from 2021, after COVID, when it started. We just kept going up 2024 September tak, and then there was nothing stopping us. But then, yes, good correction, healthy correction. A lot of people, if they've accumulated units, bought good stocks, I think it'll go up another 6 months, and then I think market will not care what happens to the war. Um, of course, the oil prices need to be in check. They cannot go very high, but I think that'll be managed. Nothing bad is going to happen. And ignore this negativity, the news. I think people are saying a lot of things about the government also. Inflation is going to go very high, and they're saying that the economy could collapse, but then we cannot have so much of negativity around. Maybe inflation goes a little bit higher, but I think government is capable to control all this, and they're very much aware about this, and I don't think so anything is going to collapse or crash. So what you're supposed to do is do your due diligence. Anyway, we cannot control these factors. You cannot control a war if it is happening, so there's no point in thinking about a war as to what you can do. So that is not in your control. I think that is how you should look at a portfolio. Also, do whatever you can and don't worry about things that you cannot control. Read and find these businesses. Anyone can comment down below if they want to know about any business, or of course they can just get to my X profile also, Twitter, what I use, message me, DM me, and then I'll get back to them if they want to discuss anything about the markets, equity, portfolio. More than happy to do that. So be very positive, and I think things would be very fine, and sector rotation will happen. So look for new businesses and be very confident, and keep reading and keep working, and definitely a lot of money yet to be made in India, and I'm very confident that next 10, 15, 20 years will be very fruitful. But don't stick to this old businesses. Find out something new and have an open mind. Yes, that is all for today. Thank you.